Muito boa tarde, meus colegas. Eu sou o ZBX e hoje nós estamos aqui para mais um react hum, feito pelo um youtuber, acho que americano, ou inglês, chamado Knowledge. E o react que vamos ver é sobre o porquê que Portugal era neutro durante a Segunda Guerra Mundial. Então, eu adoro história, eu estudava imenso história, hoje já nem tanto, mas ainda estudo de vez em quando. Vi muitos documentários, vi muita coisa sobre história. É a minha coisa favorita, mais especificamente na Segunda e Primeira Guerra Mundial, mas só que a minha área de especialidade é na Segunda Guerra Mundial. E então vamos lá ver se o que está aqui é verdade. Eu posso não ser um historiador, mas posso dizer as coisas que eu sei, pelo menos. E antes de começarmos, o motivo principal que Portugal era neutro durante a Segunda Guerra Mundial era porque nós não tínhamos capacidade económica nem militar para entrar em outra guerra depois da Primeira Guerra Mundial. E também porque nós, tipo, como é que eu posso dizer? Pois, depois de anos nós tínhamos um governo estável durante a ditadura de António de Oliveira Salazar, o ditador do Estado Novo, em Portugal. Acho que entre 1933 e 1973, 74, à volta disso, se eu não me engano. Enfim, vamos começar o vídeo.
During each World War, a handful of countries throughout Europe decided that it would be best if they remained neutral and non belligerent, staying out of the fighting, and therefore saving their citizens from inevitable doom and death on the battlefield. Neutral nations are ones that not only stay out of the military conflict, but also show no bias toward one side of the war or the other. A non-belligerent nation does not fight the battles directly, but may support one side or specific belligerent nations nonetheless. The difference is often minimal and debated as to whether some nations are neutral or non-belligerent, such as in the case of Portugal during the Second World War. Officially, Portugal was neutral during World War II, although some debate whether they were actually non-belligerent due to a previously formed alliance with Britain. Ironically, though, at some points during the conflict, Portugal actually showed favor to Germany, which proved that they were not, in fact, biased to one side or the other.
Isto é verdade, uma curiosidade que eu acho que ele vai citar no vídeo é que Portugal viu a Segunda Guerra Mundial como uma oportunidade económica gigantesca. Então nós vendíamos ambos os recursos para a Grã-Bretanha e a Alemanha para em troca de não dos alemães não nos invadirem. Eu acho que é isso. E também eu acho que é.
But this also showed that Portugal had relationships with multiple
Também.
belligerent countries,
Também tinha.
which then begs the question, why was Portugal neutral? First, let's take a look at the alliance between Portugal and Britain. The Treaty of Windsor was a friendship pact and peace treaty signed between John I of Portugal and Richard II of England back in 1387. This meant that for nearly 600 years, the Portuguese and the Brits had been allies, and it didn't make much sense for that to change in response to the war. It did have an impact, though. For one matter, it played a role in Portugal's decision to refrain from joining the
É
Axis.
verdade.
Portugal's leader at the time, Antonio de Oliveira Salazar,
Então, o António Oliveira Salazar, não, pelo que ele dizia acerca do Hitler, Mussolini e tipo as ideias nazis que eles tinham, é que era muito incompatível com as ideias de António de Oliveira Salazar, que ele focava mais na, tipo, no, em, em tipo tradições cristãs, uma coisa que os nazis não acho que não praticavam do jeito correto. Então, não só por coisas religiosas, mas também por governamentais. E também achava que eles eram demasiado brutais e não apoiavam, e o António de Oliveira Salazar não apoiou a ideia anti-judaica do Hitler, e também foi por conta que Portugal era um dos grandes campos de refugiados dos judeus nessa altura na Europa. Era um dos muito poucos sítios onde eles podiam se refugiar.
Reached out to the Brits prior to announcing his nation's neutrality and was able to establish an agreement on the fact that while the Treaty of Windsor would prevent Portugal from joining the Axis party, it did not automatically require the Portuguese to fight alongside the Allies.
Awaken.
Pois é, hora de anúncio. Então, era isso. Tipo, eles não eram forçados, nós não éramos forçados a entrar, mas também nós não podíamos nos juntar para ser inimigos deles. Então, era estratégico, era. Portugal fez uma aliança com a Espanha também, para prevenir que eles também se juntassem aos alemães. Então Portugal e Espanha tipo sustentavam-se de um ao outro com a guerra também, já que a Espanha tinha saído da guerra civil mais devastosa da vida deles. Eles não tinham capacidade também militar e económica para entrar na guerra. Esse foi um dos motivos. Mas se não fosse Portugal, havia uma grande chance que a Espanha se juntaria à Alemanha.
While the Brits respected this decision and even declared that they did not feel like they would need Portuguese support, they did find a bit of a loophole. Conspiring alongside the Americans, Britain decided that although Portuguese military aid was not a necessity, Allied use of the Azores was. Initially, Salazar opposed this, as he was always in fear of retaliation from Germany or even his next-door neighbor in Spain. The Allies, however, were sure of the fact that the use of the Azores for airfields was crucial, and the Brits insisted that the Treaty of Windsor required Portugal to cooperate on just that. Hesitant but not unwilling, Salazar eventually agreed, but informed Britain that their American allies could not enter the Azores and would be forcibly stopped if they attempted to do so. This would eventually change, but the reason for the immediate denial was due to the fact that the peace treaty could only be used as an excuse, if pressed by the Germans, for the Brits to enter Portugal, not the Americans. Salazar was concerned on a regular basis about a potential invasion from the Axis, which was another reason as to why Portugal didn't join the war on the Allied side. Despite Portugal and Spain being fairly close, the former fears that the latter may align with Germany, and if Portugal made a wrong move, may attack their neighbor on the Axis's behalf. There was also a fear that Germany itself could invade, which put significant pressure on Salazar to remain neutral. Although, it appears that the Portuguese leader decided to be extra careful. Not only did the Portuguese remain out of battle, but they also appealed to the Axis by helping Germany obtain some much-needed materials, like wolfram. This mineral was highly accessible in Portugal, and Salazar knew that he could use this fact and the war itself to his own economic advantage. Even though the Allies were strongly against the sale of this valuable substance to the Axis, Portugal would begin to sell mass amounts of wolfram to Germany, with some reports even stating that up to 75% of its wolfram exports went to the Germans, with only about 25% being sold to the Brits. Still, the Treaty of Windsor came in handy yet again, as Salazar decided to allow Britain to pay with credit, while Germany had to give the money up front for what they wanted. This wasn't too big of a deal for the Germans, whom the Portuguese did allow to build up massive debts in clearing arrangements, but it still showed a slight favor to Britain to offset the drastic difference in export amounts. Eventually, though, the Allies lost patience with Salazar and his business with Germany, so they decided to put added pressure on Portugal in hopes of ending the sale of Wolfram to their opponent. Initially, Portugal refused to put an embargo on Wolfram sales to Germany, mostly due to the vast economic gain that these deals had brought in.
Pois, foi nessa altura em que a economia portuguesa era uma das melhores na altura, porque até depois da Segunda Guerra Mundial a economia começou a baixar drasticamente, e então, se eu escolhesse uma época para viver no tempo de Salazar, eu escolheria no tempo da Segunda Guerra Mundial, porque havia mais chances de eu ficar, de eu ter melhores condições do que a seguir à Segunda Guerra Mundial.
But also out of fear of an incursion from the Axis if they were to obey the Allies. Nevertheless, just before the fateful D-Day invasion, Salazar decided to put a total embargo on both sides to avoid retaliation from either one, if he were to show any bias. The entire debacle consequently showed the Portuguese what a precarious position they were really in, and why neutrality was so important. Remaining neutral was also crucial if Portugal wanted to avoid a betrayal by their neighbor, as previously mentioned. Back before the Spanish Civil War, where Portugal supported Spain's Franco, the two Iberian nations signed a non-aggression treaty known as the Iberian Pact. In 1940, as both nations worked to remain neutral and allied to each other, they signed an updated agreement following the defeat of France to reiterate their shared goals. Even the contemporary British ambassador in Portugal stated that if Portuguese neutrality, instead of being strict, had been more benevolent in Allies' favor, Spain would inevitably have thrown herself body and soul into the arms of Germans. He also went on to state that if this had happened, not only would the entire Iberian Peninsula have fallen into Axis hands, but so would their colonies in North Africa. This was understandably a fear shared by Salazar, which was yet another contribution to his decision to prioritize neutrality. An added benefit of Portugal staying out of the war was its role as a safe haven for refugees from belligerent nations. The capital, Lisbon, became a crucial destination for refugees hoping to reach the United States or Palestine. And the civilians of Gibraltar were evacuated by the masses to Portuguese Madeira in anticipation of Axis attacks. Some estimate that anywhere up to 1 million refugees made their way to Portugal, which could only happen due to the nation's neutrality. Finally, as Salazar knew and took advantage of, neutrality could prove to be helpful for Portugal's economy. Back before the war began, Salazar rose to power in the 1930s following a coup d'etat, although he was originally actually the finance minister of Portugal, having obtained a degree in economics in his 20s. Because of this, Portugal's economy was a high priority to Salazar, and he was fully aware that wartime could actually benefit him in this.
Salazar era muito esperto. Ele era o que nós precisávamos hoje em dia, de um economista de jeito. Tipo, ele pensava na economia, ele pensava bem, ele tinha experiência, ele até já foi professor em uma universidade, acho que era professor de economia, já foi ministro de economia, e agora, e nessa altura, era ditador de Portugal. Ele fez coisas muito boas, mas também como coisas muito más também, ok? Vamos ser sinceros. Temos de ver os dois lados da mesma moeda. Muita gente pode ter dito que ele foi uma pessoa horrível, mas também foi por causa dele que a Segunda Guerra Mundial foi ganha pelos aliados. E a União Soviética também, não vamos esquecer disso.
This way, remaining neutral provided the Portuguese with opportunities to trade with both sides in a time when everyone was in need of supplies, many of which Portugal could provide. So, the reason why Portugal opted for neutrality in the Second World War is actually due to a combination of factors. The Treaty of Windsor combines with the nearby pressure from the Axis and the potential decision of Spain to join them made up a significant portion of Salazar's reasoning for neutrality. But the possible economic benefits also had an impact. This was in addition to the fact that Portuguese neutrality was crucial to maintain Spanish neutrality, which in turn was vital for Portugal.
So,
Anúncio, que maravilha, não é? Então, enquanto isso, ele sabia que se, como ele disse, que se Salazar tivesse mostrado favorecimento, ligeiramente mais de favorecimento aos aliados, a Alemanha se juntaria, quer dizer, a Espanha se juntaria aos alemães. E isso era um dos piores pesadelos de um português. Voltar à União Ibérica era possivelmente o que iria na mente de Francisco Franco nessa altura. Então, tipo, eu acho que nós não gostávamos lá muito de ser espanhóis outra vez, não é? Como foi, acho que em 1600, 1500, à volta disso, da União Ibérica, na dinastia filipina. Tempos bem... um dos piores tempos para ser português, não é?
Axis and allies were satisfied with the neutrality as well. For the Axis, there wasn't much of a motive to invade or even to try and win Portugal over as an ally, especially for Germany, who already saw Italy as a burden at times and likely would have wanted to avoid.
Pois, um facto interessante, a Itália era... o Mussolini era demasiado arrogante. Ele não pensava. Ele pensava que tudo era fácil, porque eram os maiores. A mente dele era toda... estava toda podre já, com egoísmo e arrogância. Ao contrário do Hitler, ele pensava... ele era mais ou menos assim, mas ele pensava antes de fazer as coisas. O Mussolini, não. Ele não preparava os militares em condições. Fez tanques absolutamente inúteis. O equipamento também não era a melhor cena deles. Eu acho que a única coisa de boa dos italianos era a marinha e acho que era só mesmo a marinha italiana que era boa nessa altura. Eu acho, do que eu me lembro dos meus estudos. Mas fora disso, a Itália era o pior aliado para se ter. Sabes, tipo aquele colega que nunca faz os trabalhos e às vezes só está ali só mesmo porque sim, e que é trabalho de grupo. E tens aquele teu colega que não faz absolutamente nada, tens de fazer tudo por ele. A Alemanha é tipo esse colega. Imagina isso.
The added pressure of another ally who may or may not become reliant on them. Furthermore, the Allies made it clear at the start that they did not need Portuguese military support, and being able to use the nation as a safe haven or middle ground for refugees had its own benefits as well. Having one less player in the game was actually helpful for both sides, as long as Portugal was giving them what they wanted, which continued to encourage neutrality. Overall, there were more reasons for Portugal to remain neutral than to enter the war on either side. If the Portuguese had chosen to join the Allies or Axis, they would have endangered not only their troops, but also their economy and possibly their civilians due to the close proximity to Spain, who likely would have joined the Axis. The sales of wolfram and other goods would have been reduced as Portugal could not have sold to both sides, and the lucrative period of doing so up until the embargoes were placed would have never been able to boost the economy as it did. If Salazar had chosen to join the Axis, he also would have been breaking a centuries-old treaty with one of Portugal's close allies, which simply would not have been a good idea. Ultimately, Salazar's decision to remain neutral was not just tolerated, but even praised by some of the warring nations, and it proved to be the wisest option to take for Salazar himself and for the Portuguese people.
E foi este o vídeo. Espero que tenham gostado. Vídeo original na descrição, caso queiram voltar a ver e fazer os vossos estudos. Este canal é bom. Vou já me dar like e inscrever, porque provavelmente quero muito ver mais conteúdo deste gajo. Se forem todos assim, deste tipo, até estou interessado. Enfim, espero que tenham gostado. Eu adoro história, como podem ver. Eu dou opiniões muito construtivas, que são factos, na verdade, também. E é isso. Então, uma próxima meta. Desta vez, uma meta para vermos mais coisas de história. Vá, uns 5 likes, pelo menos. Não é? Uns 5 likes, talvez dê. Enfim, mais uma vez, vejo-me nos próximos vídeos. Acompanham também a série de Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. E é isto. Foi. Obrigado.